Where to begin? Ah, yes. Concerning YouTubers. YouTubers are simple folk and a strange breed of people who love to be idiots online. Some say what we do is pointless and that we waste our time on frivolous acts creating videos when really we just love the comforts of our homes and the company of strange fellows, especially those within our communities and subscriber bases. Ho ho ho, Kazaa there everybody, and welcome to the first day of 7 days of 76. I've built myself, I guess you could call it a little Hobbit hole, though it's not actually underground. And the reason I did this was one, I wanted to do something massive. Not massive, but 7 days of 76 is something, it's just 7 days of nothing but building, because I love building. And I live in the place that inspired Lord of the Rings. No, not New Zealand. New Zealand inherited it. Where I am is roughly where the Shire is. I can kind of see where Mount Doom is out of my window. But I thought, I just want to build something nice, something simple, something sweet, something homely, something that I can put in the middle of nowhere, and it won't have people coming up to it to try and shoot it or blow it up or lure scorch beast to it or anything like that. And out of the list of things that I had built, a list of the things I hadn't built, list of the things that I'd written down that I want to build, a hobbit hole or a small cottage in the woods was basically my first one to go on because I love it so very, very much. So I built a little tiny cool little hobbit hole, and funnily enough, while building this, I went back. So I built everything that you're going to see over this week, last week, but I did go back and I tried to replace some of the walls because I don't like the fact that some of the walls aren't double stacked or that some of the walls aren't, painted with this wooden wallpaper. So that was what my tweets were about when posting the fact that you couldn't double stack, walls. But before I talk even any more about the build, I must say something because the whole massive controversy with copper going on and they're trying to copper feel on my nuts. Let me just say this: not for kids, absolutely not for kids whatsoever. Don't care from playing games or whatever. So to make sure that it's not for kids, prepare to listen to my potty mouth. Cunt, fuck, shit, tits, wanker, cocksucker, balls. There we go. It's not for kids anymore. But yeah, so I wanted to add this. This was something I wanted in. It's a fucking chimney. I love this. I bumped into this. Someone had built a very tiny shack over in the the Maya. The Maya. Is it the Maya? The spooky place with all the sheep squatchers and stuff and all the vines. I think that's the Maya. All the boggy place, basically. Someone had built a little shack with that sticking out, and I was like, that's awesome. I want that. So I decided to put it into my little hobbit hole, as it were. And, of course, this is something I wish I had in real life. A fire. It's probably not the most sensible thing, but a fire in a library. Obviously not the most sensible thing because fire, flammable objects, my pyromania would kick in. But in Fallout 76, your fire doesn't set fire to other things. So I built myself a little cubby hole where I could read my books. Just sit back and relax and read my books and listen to the sounds of nature. Funnily enough, it took me a day extra to build this one because I spent, and I shit you not, an entire day on a server waiting for the rain to stop. And you're probably thinking, oh yeah, no, the rain stopped at some point, obviously. Yeah, it stopped for 5 minutes. Can't build this in 5 minutes. Trust me. Oh, I could probably build it in 5 minutes now, but when I was designing it and everything, could not build it in 5 minutes. But an entire day of rainy server, that annoyed the crap out of me. But yeah, I was wondering, how can I increase the light? Because the ambient light given off by this fire isn't that bright. It's kind of mellow, kind of relaxing, but I wanted it a little bit brighter. So, obviously, I did the little sneaky little tricky glitch of sticking candles underneath it. And I actually really like the thing that the candles do. So, from the back of the fireplace, it wasn't that bright, but from the front, where the light would be shining out the most, it was very bright. However, something that still hasn't been fixed, and that's the fact that you cannot build stuff under slanted roofs. Obviously, they also haven't fixed the thing where if you put something under a set of stairs, it teleports up, because they also haven't fixed it here. I placed that thing down, I was like, where's it gone? and there it is on the roof. And I don't want a cooker on the roof because that means I have to go out into the rain. Yes, by the way, it started raining again. Luckily, it stopped within like 3 minutes after this. But yeah, so they haven't fixed this really annoying glitch where I think it's just the stove. I don't know if it's the slanted roof or if it's the stove, but they haven't fixed this yet. And then, I was having a panic that, they'd patched out double stacking walls because that's annoying. Like, they really need to actually make a wall type that is nothing but a wallpaperable wall on both sides. That's what they need to put in. They need to stop putting in wallpaper sets for 800 atoms because that's a rip-off. And what they actually need to do is put in curved walls, completely different textures of walls, columns, arches, better windows. They need to put. There's a bunch of stuff that they need to put in that as part of the camp building community. I'm pretty sure if any of you out there do build camps on a regular, would completely and utterly agree with me. We need things like arches and stuff, which is funny because actually in White Springs they have wooden arches and columns, so the assets are already in the game. But trying to build a kitchen in a tiny shack like this is a pain in the nectar, which is not a pain in the neck, but a pain in the ass. There you go. That's some Stargate humour for you. But I just wanted a simple thing. Like, in real life, I might live in the country and at some point move to the city, but I'm a country guy. And when I say country, I don't mean like Somerset. I'm not that close to the country, but I'm in the countryside, as it were. And I love my little kitchen because it has an amazing view. A view is like 60% of a build, man. You've just got to enjoy the little things. But as you can see right here, apart from changing the floor, what I actually did was I raised the roof because I'm hip and cool like that, and then I just changed this little section of it, which I do like. And I use this linoleum floor, which I haven't used in a long time, and I do like this linoleum floor. But I was thinking, I'm not going to do any electricity for this build. Because, if it's, Hobbit inspired, they did not have electricity. They might have had Gandalf running around zapping stuff, but they didn't have light bulbs, didn't have any of this stuff. And funnily enough, opening all the shutter windows adds in enough illumination to keep this house lit during the day, and then at night, the candles, and I don't know what was going on with the wall there, but the candles add a nice bit of ambient lighting, and they cast nice shadows, which is why I use them. Sadly, there's no single sconce. There's only double sconce, which is a pain in the... I was going to say it's a pain in the nectar again, which is, once again, translated from gold into pain in the ass. But I was like, every kitchen has to have a table in it. And obviously, I was looking in the wrong place to begin with. I was going too far down. The table I'm going to use is... Where is it? Come on, no, down, you idiot. Up, down, there it is. This tiny little table... I don't use these things enough. There are some things in this game that I don't use enough, and at some point I might do a build challenge where you have to use things you've either never used before or use very rarely. But I just loved... I don't know, I loved this whole kind of rustic country cabin, small hobbit hole, shire kind of build that I was going on. It was just really calming. And I was actually listening to the Lord of the Rings soundtrack while doing it, which helped a lot. Trust me. Here's a Beardy building tip. There we go. If you are building and you get stuck, listen to music. Seriously, I don't care if you listen to thrash metal or, the Copacabana song by what's his face. I want to say Barry Manilow. I don't care what you listen to. Put some tunes on, because it takes you out of life and puts you into wherever you need to be. And gives you that little bit of inspiration. So, like, you could be in the middle of building a massive scientist kind of castle kind of thing, and just put on some spooky Halloween music. Boom, there you go. You've got your inspiration right there. And of course, my patented placement, my floor mat on a table with the succulent on top. That's like my go-to thing to decorate tables these days. I was trying to think about moving it halfway through, but I also realized that the middle bar is at a slant. That is terrible building right there. But it came to choosing a bed. Now this is my little bedroom, and I've gone for the carpeted floor. And I was going to put in this one, this massive chunky bed, but it didn't really work. We need more ornate beds. We need smaller beds and more ornate beds. But once again, my favourite bed in the game had to be put in. And I was kind of a little bit, when it came to this. And yes, I am using stupid, wacky sound effects to trying to describe exactly how a build was going. But when it came to a bedroom, I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do. Everything else, I was fine with, and I grinded out atoms, by the way, to get that little stash, the display case, sorry, that you saw right there. Now, the bedroom does go through a little bit of a change. I put in these dressers here, and I realised I have to put my desk in somewhere. Because about halfway through this build, I realised that I wanted to actually do a small, kind of Bilbo Baggins homage intro. A homage intro to the Lord of the Rings and, of course, the Hobbit. But yeah, I was like, what painting would go here? And then, things change. Things change all the time when I'm building. I think altogether there was like 5-6 hours of footage of me to go through when doing this. Yeah, when I build, I go all out, especially when I have an entire week to make 7 builds. I go all out, and it might not look like much, but the thing is, that's not what this build was about. There are other builds coming in the week that are designed to be there, all up in your face. This isn't. We're starting off with a nice kind of like relaxing build, and obviously we have a cuckoo clock. Now I move the position of this cuckoo. I move a lot of stuff in this build, and sometimes it's just got to be done. Like, you look at something and you go, yeah, no, it kind of suits that it goes there. And of course I have my Vault-Tec diploma and stuff that I want to put in, which I actually swap onto the other side over my bed and all this kind of stuff. I'd be a terrible actual real life decorator, wouldn't I? I'd be like, yeah, no, it should go there, and then come back the next day and go, nah, it don't work there. It don't work there. It needs to be over there. The feng shui is off. And yeah, I'd get rid of that. But I realised in the actual Lord of the Rings movies and in the books, hobbits are known for being peaceful folk who love everything green. So I was like, do you know what? I need a small garden attached to the side of this thing, and I love the faux grass. It would be nice to actually have planters, like where you could actually grow, stuff. So take and I love that little glitch right there where it's jigging out and stuff. I thought I'd, broken the game or something. It was just having a hard time because the actual concrete slab block was so close to the ground that it was bugging out a little bit. If I would have raised the foundation, it would have been absolutely fine. But yeah, no, we need planters where we can actually grow things in instead of just placing things on dirt. It would be nice to put them on planters. Obviously make them grow faster, but reduce the amount of stuff we can grow. There has to be some sort of, mix-up. But I love the shutters, and I wish they weren't on such a disgusting, ugly-ass wall. But sometimes you just go that way. And, of course, one thing I wish I was good at, gardening. I can't keep a bloody thing alive. I wish I was better at gardening. I should look into a gardening course. But I was like, hobbits love everything green. I need some sort of garden for my hobbit, which is me, obviously. And daffodils, very abundant on our roundabouts in England, our daffodils, quite interestingly enough. Succulents, not that much. England's not really a country for outdoor growing succulents because of the rain. And it can, if you overwater a succulent, it dies. But I was thinking, you know what? Let's do a nice little arrangement of succulents. So I tried my best. Like I said, I'm not the best when it comes to decorating gardens and stuff. But I thought a nice little succulent corner to just show off, the beautiful plants that succulents are. I actually have a new succulent. It's an aloe vera. I've spoken about it before. I love aloe vera. It smells very nice, and it is both a medicinal herb, I do believe, used for treating skin stuff like burns. I think so. And apparently is a good moisturiser. I wouldn't know. I don't moisturise because I'm a man. I moisturise with the blood of my enemies. But obviously gardening is a beautiful thing. A massive flip right there. I loved this build, man. I did actually change up this garden area a little bit. I changed it from having a full section of grass to just a one section of grass and then a wooden decked floor. By the way, if you guys do actually know a position to build underground, not a big position, but a nice little position, or if anyone from Bethesda is watching, allow us to build underground, or in the side of hills, allow us to actually dig because that'd be a lot of fun. And then I would legit build a Hobbit hall, because I would have so much fun with that. And just imagine if they put like semicircle walls in, you know, like a Hobbit hall is a tube. That'd be awesome. They need to do that. Do it, Bethesda. Do it. Do it now. But obviously, my cat. I need a cat. Now, my cat sadly has passed away some years ago, so I'm replacing my cat with a faux plastic cat, I guess you could say. And then I just realised I've never used these before. And I also realised that this video is going on for a long time and I'm talking non-stop. But I wanted to put some sort of deity inside my garden. How, you know, some people might have, I don't know, a statue of Poseidon. I don't know when you have Poseidon in your garden, but some people have, you know, Aphrodite, all that kind of stuff. No, normally Roman stuff. I'm going for Mr. Pebbles. Mr. Pebbles the cat on a plinth to worship. But let's take a full tour, because I did do a little bit of editing outside of the video. So as you can see, I've replaced some of the, well, the majority of it with a nice decking, and I realised right out the corner of my eye that is facing the wrong way. I've called people out on this before, and if I left it, they would call me out on it. So I'm going to fix it right there. And I put in a rocking chair. Once again, following this entire theme, it follows relaxation, the green, gardening, hobbits. Just relaxation is what it is. And then, of course, I put in the actual display cases. And I thought it would be so funny to go out and get a tea set and a set of plates, because I've seen, I can't remember who it was on my Twitter, but if I remember, I will do my best to find out. But she posted that her bathroom now has toilet paper and soap in it on one of these, which was fucking hilarious. So I thought, I'm a hobbit. I need a tea set. I need plates for if people come over. However, I can only host one other person at the dining table. Open my shutters, let in the green, let in the fresh air, let in all the beautiful. My sitting area, once again, absolutely beautiful. Obviously, probably not the best idea to have a candle on wood, because when that thing eventually does burn down to the, you know, the edge, well, not only am I ruining the stain and the finish on that with the wax and the heat, but eventually that candle will burn down and set fire to the thing, most likely. And then in my bedroom, I did some little changes. I put my desk in. I removed the picture, though I think I put it back right now. I think I do put it back. Yes, I put it back because I need pictures in my home. And of course, I have a desk. And I also put something else in that I can't remember. Oh yeah, I put the dresser back in. I realised I do actually need a dresser. I have a side table, but I don't have a dresser. And it's nice to have, you know, in my room right now, I actually have a entire set of drawers dedicated to junk and paper and all that kind of stuff that just gets thrown in there. And then, you know, games as well. But there's my Vault-Tec diploma with my little Vault-Tec. I don't know the name of them, the little flags. I put a candle in. My bed, obviously. Not much really changed. I moved some stuff around and all this kind of stuff. I had a lot of fun with this build, man. I do need to host guests properly in this game at some point. Just have a bit of fun. But there we go. That is pretty much it. The tour is done. As you can see, then I also moved the cuckoo clock into the kitchen. I forgot to point that out. But I love it. I absolutely love this build. It fits in so nicely. It blends in with the background a little bit right there. Obviously, the white picket fence gives it away. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. And remember that you can go ahead and follow me over on Twitter if you so please. But you know the drill. Like, share, and subscribe. And because you are so awesome, I hope you check out the rest of 7 Days of 76. But until the next time, stay awesome.